PSG at home plus 162 to Bayern. Road favorite plus 145. Very slight road favorite. The draw is plus 280. Bayern's minus 200 to advance. PSG plus 150. Kind of have talked a little bit in our League On section about PSG's injury issues. Mbappe, Messi. Looks like Neymar should be all right for this one. I don't mind backing Bayern here. This is just, it feels like a classic PSG Champions League spot where they just, their journey just kind of ends. Like you can almost always see it coming with this team in this competition, and it feels like this, it just doesn't bode well. Yeah, I think it's Bayern here or nothing. Anthony, I think most people will be backing it to be a little more back and forth, considering the two attacks that we're looking at just on name value. You're going the other way.
Yeah, I'll be looking to play PSG in the return leg for sure. I think that they definitely present matchup advantages in this situation against this Bayern team. Like Bayern, as much as Nagelsmann tinkers and like changes the plan and they do a lot of different things, like if you look on paper at this team and you were to say like where's Bayern weak, and it would be that they concede quality shots. I mean, they just like are bottom 5 in the Bundesliga in average shot XG per shot allowed, and they tend to get broken open. And when you're playing Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi, that's like the worst possible nightmare scenario combination. And they're especially going to be favored in the second leg, depending on how the first leg plays out. Like if they're more than minus a half in the second leg, like that's just going to be PSG time. I love that spot, but like in terms of, we'll talk about that in a month. But like this matchup, I mean, it looks like Messi's out and Mbappe's out, and like that's pretty much most of the PSG attack. I mean, they wanted to add depth in the transfer window. They couldn't. Ekitike and Neymar can like be okay, but like there's just not all that much talent on this team. If you look at the 11 that they started at Monaco on Sunday, like or Saturday, it was just not a team that is going to go toe to toe with Bayern in the Champions League. Now, I do think if we know anything about Galtier is that he can set them up defensively and make them a defend team and kind of get at this, pretty overvalued Bayern attack still. Like at the other end of the pitch, Bayern is still not getting the same quality of shots that they were getting when they had Lewandowski, even though Musiala is amazing and like, Gnabry is amazing. Like they have great attackers, but they don't get the same focal central located shots. And so I think when they play other elite teams, you're going to see their defense, their attack struggle. And you've kind of seen it. I mean, when they played Dortmund, they scored 2 goals, but they didn't take a shot until the 40th minute. They finished with under 1.5 expected goals. They played Leipzig. They scored once on less than 1 expected goal. Like if you're going to play against the elite, I think you can see some flaws in this Bayern attack. So I like the under 3.25. I bet that 3.5 if you follow me in the app. We bet that before the Messi news, so it was even better afterwards. This is just classic. Like, oh, it's going to be back and forth. It's 2 great attacks, but like it's the first leg. And especially with PSG not having their guns now, like they're going to sit and they're going to try to keep this within a goal. If they keep within a goal, then they're live to go to Bayern in a month and win it with the talent they have.
Yeah, I find this very interesting because do you guys want to take a quick guess how many times Bayern's lost this season in all competitions? Just quick guess.
4?
Less.
Once.
I think they've only lost once, right? Yeah.
Augsburg.
Jesus.
But
they've had a lot of draws, though.
Yeah, but if you go back to the Champions, like I understand it was a long time ago. I understand Sadio Mane was healthy for that portion, but they won every single match. And the second leg against Barcelona was very, very impressive. It's a match I think pretty much all of us were on Barcelona at that point. But Bayern went in there. They created 2 expected goals. They beat them 3-0. They created 5 big scoring chances against now is one of the best teams in the world. And I understand they've drawn 3 times in the Bundesliga, but they've won the expected goals battle in every single match outside of the Wolfsburg match out of the World Cup break. And if you go through PSG in the past in these type of Champions League situations, I agree with you, Anthony. Galtier went with a 3-5-2 against Monaco on Saturday, so he can very easily drop that into a 5-3-2, play very, very defensive. And there's some interesting with the injury news on Messi and Mbappe. They're trying to say like there's some positive news. They might be fully fit. I'm not really sure. Even if they aren't, like we've seen it time and time again from PSG. If those three are on the field together, they do very little to no defensive work. So now you're trying to defend one of the best attacking sides with a ton of great attacking wingers. I understand they don't have an out-and-out striker, but trying to defend all of those wingers with 7, 8 outfield players is a very, very difficult thing to ask, especially for someone like Verratti, who's not entirely healthy right now. So I have major, major question marks about how PSG is going to actually defend Bayern Munich. It is the first leg. They'll probably play more defensive, but yeah, if Messi and Mbappe are out, then that's just troublesome. I don't know how they're gonna. I mean, obviously they have Neymar, and Ekatike has been decent in spots this season, but I mean they played 3 teenagers against Monaco. Are they going to have to do that in this first leg against Bayern Munich? That is just troublesome. So I like Bayern on the money line. If you follow me in the app, you know that I bet it right when the Mbappe news came out that he was going to be out. So it's dropped quite a bit, but I do think there still is some value on Bayern Munich here in this first leg on the money line.
An interesting strategy here too would be like if PSG loses 2-1 or 1-0, then maybe backing them with a future to win the entire tournament, right? Like, because like the way that this draw sets up, you're already going to be without that would require them to eliminate Bayern. So that's one of the favorites out, and then Madrid and Liverpool, they're playing each other, and then you have teams like Benfica playing Bruges, so you're getting a soft team coming through to the quarterfinals. You could even
Chelsea Dortmund.
Right. I was gonna say Chelsea Dortmund, right? So like the
Tottenham,
yeah. So it's very
open.
If you can get through Bayern, I think the number is too short at 8-1 is what I'm trying to say. But if they do fall behind, or if they even don't win this leg, then you can consider it, because if they do get through, if they come back and win, and they'll be healthier for the second leg, the competition should really soften up. And that's kind of what I was saying off the top with Leipzig. Right? It requires them at 100-1 to beat City already, so they've already done kind of the hardest part. And then you're talking about City's gone, one of Bayern and PSG is gone, one of Liverpool and Madrid is gone. It's going to be wide open. If one of these, if there is a little bit of chaos, in the quarterfinals.
DJ, you got a Napoli ticket, right?
I do have a Napoli 150 to 1 ticket. It's just $10 on it.
That is live.
That is very live.
That's
I'm trying not to get too excited.
And I think they're overrated too. Now, like their Serie A prices are.
No, Frankfurt will come back from the grave.
In a Champions League like this, where like every dominant team has a flaw, all the big boys have flaws.
Oh yeah.